Hey folks, so I'm going to kind of do some time trials on these stumps here, and I guess the way I'll do that is to give you an idea. This one was a pretty good size one. Oops. It's like one of its widest points is about 38 inches, 37 inches. Right there. Gosh, I didn't think it was that big. Goodness gracious. Across there. Yeah, this sucker's a 3-foot stump no matter which way you measure it. That's 36 right there. So the reason why we had to take down this tree was because of this part right here. This part, I think, was injured in Irma, which was about 7 years ago. Looked like it was going to repair itself, but quite a bit of the tree was hollow. And you can see right there, there's an indent there too. I don't think that was from the actual taking it down, but that goes in pretty far, and then this goes in pretty far, and the house is right there. So I thought it was a good idea to probably take it down, but this will give you an idea of how long it takes to do a stump like this. They did a pretty good job low, so it's only about 7 inches high, 8 inches, something like that, which isn't bad. I mean, you know, it's a big stump. It's hard to cut a stump low. It's about like 8 right there too. I got a little bit on the stick. Anyway, but then they come out here, you see stumps, roots right here, and that's like a foot or so from there. But these aren't too bad. Maple trees seem to be worse than oak trees when it comes to how gnarly their root system is. So this is the last tree that I have next to the house in the backyard. I have that Chinese elm, and then I have all the trees across the front, which is about 2 live oaks, like a laurel oak and a maple. So this really has taken this out and really has changed the look of my backyard because this tree has kind of grown, submitted to this tree. As you can see, if I was further back, you can see that most of it's grown that way and not this way. So now hopefully it'll expand a little bit this way, but we'll see. This one's sort of a, I can't remember which one. Maybe this was a laurel oak too. We have a lot of water oaks here, and the water oaks really aren't that great. So I took down another one of those. You see the stump there. Let's see. That'll be coming down. And I'll finally be putting that fire out. And you can see I was able to stack that big load of wood with the grapple. So having a grapple is both fun and pretty useful, or useful and pretty fun. Anyways, I'll get going on this stump grinding real quick here. All right, quick check on there. 451.9 hours. That's kind of how
So every one of these fast forward parts of the video is done at 10x the real-time speed. And the reason for that is I didn't want this video to be, you know, close to an hour long, so that's kind of a little foreshadowing of how long it's going to take to do the stump grinding. But in any case, you'll get an idea of how long it takes you to do it, and you can actually see I have all the footage that I actually shot. I think every bit of it. So I have all of that. And as you can see, here are the 2 trees I took down, and this is the one that we're grinding the stump on right now.
So we're only up to 452 hours, so 6 minutes or so. The problem with these things is this one's so big it's hard to get the stump grinder all the way across. So you just got to be careful of that. So probably what we're going to do now is go like this way and did that way as far as we can, but that's like the widest part of the stump, so we're going to adjust that a little bit. It's coming out pretty quickly. This thing was only taken down 8 days ago, so I mean, it's, other than that, it's pretty solid. too, so I'm not sure what was going on with that. Probably somebody could tell me, but anyways, we're gonna go this way now, because that's the shorter area of the stump. So we're making some progress. It hasn't been that long, so it's going pretty quickly for such a sizable stump, but the hard part is at the end where we're trying to get all the roots that are further out from the base. So, you know, it looks like we're making good progress, but they still take some time to do.
So in smaller stumps, you're just going to grind from left to right, all the way through the stump. This method of crisscrossing the stump is required basically because you don't want to run your tires up over the stump, and the stump grinder isn't long enough to get over the stump without putting your tires on it. And you don't want it. The biggest thing about stump grinder, one of the biggest things, is you want to keep the level of your tractor the same, so you can grind across there uniformly. So while this isn't ideal, it is the best way to do a large stump, I have found. Maybe others will comment that there's a better way. Who knows?
Alright, as you can see, these roots go quite a ways out and they're pretty huge. So I'm actually standing on a root here and here, and that's pretty far away from the stump. Not super far, but anyway, so now we're going to go this way, and that's what you're just going to have to do with these bigger stumps, is just crisscross them. Of course, it gets messier when you do that, but you need to, the stump grinder isn't wide enough to not do that, I think. So anyway, we'll keep going.
So as you looked at that last clip, it kind of looks like we're pretty close to the end of the stump, but actually that's where it's kind of misleading, because the further you grind down into the stump, the wider it gets, because you're starting to get into the root system and stuff like that. And if you really want to do the stump grinding correctly, you really do want to get it a couple inches subsurface, so there's really no opportunity for there to be, you know, extra stump there when you leave. And especially if somebody's paying you to do it, you want to make sure that you don't have to make a repeat trip back there for free in order to make sure that everything is squared away and that you deliver quality service. And of course, in my house, I'll remark later about, you know, chancing it a little bit, but if all I have to do is roll it out and, you know, grind the stump a little bit more, it's no big deal.
Okay, so we're at about a half an hour into this thing. We started at 451.9, and we still have quite a bit of the stump. Plus, you have the root right here. I was tracking the root along there, and there's still good amount of the stump here. So, anyways, we'll keep going on that, and I'll put this up there.
So it is worth mentioning, although this may be pretty obvious, that larger stumps take exponential time to grind versus smaller stumps. Like if you had a couple 6 to 10 inch wide stumps, you could grind them in a matter of minutes. Several probably in the time that you would take to grind this. Plus those are just, the root systems on those are going to be smaller. Once you get down low, it's not going to take as much time that way. This is, you know, these past couple clips look like I was getting close to the end, but there's still quite a bit of work to do, as you can see here. And we are getting closer to the end of the video, but it's still taking some time to get there because this is such a large stump. And yes, there are larger stumps, but 3 foot plus in every direction stump is a pretty large stump. So just have that in mind when you're trying to price out stumps, if you're trying to do it for money.
So here's where we need to determine, like this is probably below grade, but this up here is probably not. See, there's some grass. So I'm just going to hit this a little bit more. And this is the tricky part, in my opinion, at the end. Now I'm not going to stress it too much. In fact, I will probably bail out and just tell you guys to add 10 minutes or 5 minutes to what I'm doing, because I own the place. This is my house, so if I need to come back and regrind a spot, then I will. But if I was at somebody else's house, I would go a little bit extra because I don't want to go back to regrind it. Okay, so 452.7, so that's 0.8 hours, so 48 minutes it took me to stump grind a pretty sizable stump. You can add, like I said, you can add another 5 or 10 minutes if you want, just to get it super sub-grade. So here's why we got rid of that tree. As you can see, there's quite a bit of out of it, and then it was pretty well attacked by a woodpecker multiple times. This is the top of it. As you can see, it's kind of chewed up. It was better than I thought it would be, but it's still, I think, compromised. And then the other part of it, I think, is this guy right here. Actually, this might be, yeah, you can see, there you can see it's damaged quite a bit. So that's the reason why we took it down. And couldn't chance it being close to the house, so I thought that was the best decision, although it sure is naked around the house though without that tree, though. I'll tell you that. I just can't get over what a difference that makes. And that's what it looks like. Too much debris everywhere in the grass, which I don't like, but might get one of the kids to rake it up. That's quite a mound. But once it rains a few times, it'll compress in there. I don't know if I have to, to grind the stump a little more. So, well, that's it for now. If you liked watching this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit a like button. And if you want to see more videos, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.